started. I'm gonna read off.
Okay. Well, we've already got people watching, so that's good. Apparently the sound sounds okay. Everybody hear us all right?
You just move your lips. See what happens.
Yeah. But yeah, we're having a live stream because yesterday we hit 100,000 subscribers. So yeah, figured we'd do a live stream because of that. So here we are.
Lots of highs and congratulations.
I see that. The way the streams work, like we won't see any comments and then they just all pour in. So
Did BJ climb the leg?
no, he completely wimped out. He claims that there's no video evidence that he ever agreed to do that. And
No, on Instagram, on one of the stories.
I might have said that he said that. So maybe he didn't say that. I don't know.
Oh.
He did say that he would climb to the top of the Gleaner combine. But, yep. So, Kayla, are you going to read any questions?
Yeah.
There's that awkward moment of silence.
Did you get the Gleaner going?
Tomorrow is the first day with the Gleaner. It's been a little wet, so I think tomorrow it'll be dry enough that we can do soybeans. Dad said that we're running the Gleaner if we even if we have to dry all the beans. As long as they go through the combine, we're going to run the Gleaner.
What is the beverage you got called out?
Coors Light.
Cole Barker says, woo!
Oh, hey Cole, nice to see you in the chat, dude.
How's Squishy?
Squishy's doing well. He spent most of the day in the test shack today because it's pretty cold here. In fact, it was snowing when we quit. It's not going to snow a lot, so I'm not worried about not getting to do beans, but it was snowing.
Travis said, tell BJ to man up and just do it.
Yep, Travis, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Yeah, he claimed on Instagram that he might try to go to the top of a grain bin. We'll see. I doubt it.
How much more harvest do you have?
We have approximately 1,000 acres left. Plus or minus 400. Most likely plus. Like I think that 1,000 acres is not counting our double crops.
Is that like corn or what is it?
No, we still have like 400 acres of first crop beans and 600 of corn. Maybe 550 of corn. Something like that.
Do you even know what you do?
We have like 120 fields. Just doing some quick math. You know how I am at math. So.
Is there a goal in the next 5 years for the farm?
Yeah, to remain profitable and increase our acreage if possible.
Rod Jones. Rod Jones and I are watching. Congrats, guys.
Well, thanks for watching. Rod, good to hear from you. Hope everything's going well and you guys is in for harvest.
Callie Valley, I think that's what that says, said go.
Yep, we hit the goal. I'm not gonna lie, I've been really wanting to get to the 100K range for a while, so I was pretty stoked yesterday. It's about this time yesterday when we got it too.
Yep. Was it windy by you today?
Extremely windy. Very windy. In fact, I don't know.
Okay, so that yellow thing that looks kind of like a pyramid when it's upside down and you put it underneath of something to catch the corn down there by the grain bins, was it still here? Because it was flying away earlier when I looked outside.
Thanks for telling us. I don't know where it went. I don't know. Yeah, it was very windy. Phone said 20 or 15 mile an hour sustained and 40 mile an hour gusts. So I'd say it was at least that.
Are you voting on Tuesday?
I am. I'll be voting in person on Tuesday. So no matter what side of the aisle you are, go vote. So pretty cool.
High leg arms. Oh, there he is. He said congratulations.
Oh, hey, leg arms. Hope the arm is doing well.
And congrats on the baby.
Oh yeah, yeah. Congrats on the baby.
Terry Mertz said, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Terry. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate it. We most certainly do. While she's reading, this is the Dementia Awareness T-shirt. So if you haven't got one yet, they are still available on farmfocus.com along with our other merch. So check that out. Proceeds from that go towards dementia research. People should be starting to see theirs. I know Ben said that Farm Focus is having some shipping delays due to a busy time of the year, but I would think by now they'd be starting to show up at people. So if you guys get your dementia awareness shirt, tag me on an Instagram story. I'll repost it. It'd be pretty cool to start seeing those popping up.
Why do you not have 2-track Challengers?
Because we just don't. we prefer wheeled tractors for the most part.
Have you noticed any yield advantage from the Momentum planter compared to your own planter?
No, we did have one field that it was a pretty big field. When I was in the Momentum, I stopped down and planted like 10 acres the last night we had it, right beside Dad in the John Deere planter. And unfortunately, that was going to be a pretty good test. It was pretty consistent soil side by side with the John Deere planter. And unfortunately, that field was completely drowned out, and most of the heavy flooding was right where we did that side by side. So I'm not going to have any direct comparison. I know our stand is better. Our planter does not have downforce or anything like that. And the first time Dad ever sprayed the corn on post spray, he called me jokingly saying that the Momentum was terrible. He didn't want to see it again. I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Now we're going to have to buy some hydraulic downforce and some electric drives." He was very impressed. So.
You taking me on vacation after harvest?
I don't know. We were going to go to Commodity Classic, and if you haven't heard, it's a virtual show now. So I would like to. I mean, I like taking Big Mom on vacations.
James said, hoping to see you finish harvest safely and with everyone healthy.
Yep. Yeah, we should. We have 10. Last I checked, the weather changes around here pretty often, but we have about 10 good days of weather. So hopefully we can really make a pretty big dent in it the next 10 days.
Any advice for a new YouTube
channel? Just grind it out and always try to get better. Whenever I was first starting, especially, and I still do this, I try not to waste people's time. So if my videos seem jumpy, that's because there was probably like a long period of dead space, and I cut it out. So.
Any chance of building bigger shop in the future?
I would love to. That would be something that we would really like to upgrade. Would be a bigger shop, probably right beside the new grain bins. Really like to do 100 by 200 building, but I don't know when. Got some other things coming up that are a little bit more important right now. So in the future, but just I'm not sure when yet.
What's on my ankle in the videos?
Yeah. Kayla wears a Fitbit, just like mine. Only she wears hers on her ankle. Why?
Because when you go grocery shopping and you hold your hands like this, it doesn't count steps. Or when you hold a baby and you don't move your hand, it doesn't count steps. So I just feel it's more accurate on my ankle.
Yeah, so she's not on house arrest.
Are you guys sitting on the floor?
We are. We are most definitely on the floor in our bedroom.
Is your dad going to do his tractor restore project?
That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. I don't know how much we're going to restore on it. The tractor runs really strong, so we'll probably look. If we do, we'll probably just look it over and give it a fresh coat of paint. But we'll see.
Would that wind damage the crops at this point?
I mean, it definitely could. So far, everything's standing well. The field we were in today, all the tops were broke out of it, but the crop was still standing. So, I haven't seen all of our fields yet, so hopefully they're all still standing.
What's the turnaround time from video to release?
1 day at the moment. But this live stream is going to take the place of a video. So the footage you're going to see in the next video, which will come out tomorrow, was actually filmed on Halloween. But for the most part, I prefer to keep them 1 day behind during harvest. The rest of the year, not so much, but harvest, we do something every day. So there's just a lot of content, and I try to keep them caught up. So that, and if I commit to doing one every day, no matter how tired I am, I'll come home and finish the video. So.
People are saying they got their shirts already.
Good.
Have you ever done an equipment tour on your thing?
I did one the first year in 2018. Some of the equipment's changed, but for the most part, it's pretty current, I guess. So maybe when we upgrade some, like a combine or something, we'll refresh that. But for the most part, it's still pretty accurate.
Do we have any T-shirts with pockets on them?
I don't think we do at the moment. I hate to ask Ben to print us off a bunch of shirts just because I'm always worried that he's going to print a bunch of shirts and then be stuck with them, because we did that. Like when we were selling the merch out of our house, we would all, like, that was the biggest challenge with it was, well, how many shirts do we print and what sizes do we print and all that good crap. So
did you get extra yield results from your fungicide? And which ones gave you the best results?
I don't know. We had some yield monitor issues. Dad's yield monitor actually come unplugged in the middle of that field, so I don't know how bad that skewered the results. Yesterday, I was running part of that field, and the day before, Dad was running a different part of that field, so I didn't see what the other fungicide made, so I'm not 100% sure.
Do you think you would go with one combine that is large in replace of the 2 combines to save on labor?
I don't know. That's something we go back and forth with. On one hand, I would like to just get like one Class 8 combine and maybe run a 45-foot head on it for beans. And I would consider a 16-row corn head and a 16-row high-speed planter. But on the other hand, every time one of our combines break down and we still have the other one going, I'm like, man, I'm really glad we still have 2 combines. So I don't know. If we were running one combine, I do know we would probably upgrade more often. So I don't know what the right answer is.
What is the name of your other channel and what is it about?
After Hours 67. It's just pretty much any kind of, I worked on a car last year. There's a couple videos there. I think I filmed some of our fair. There's some rock source stuff on there. I think there's a hunting video. This is a little bit of everything. I think our camper is in that. Like when we bought our camper, we did a camper tour. So yeah, it doesn't get a lot of videos posted on it. I think the channel's been around for a little over a year, and there's like 13 videos. So not very consistent content, but I try to get one video a month on it.
Is your dad still drooling over the gleaner?
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, tomorrow we are running beans, whether it rains or not. I think he's ready to run that thing. So.
How is the broadcasted wheat doing?
It's coming up. It looks really kind of crappy. I mean, it doesn't look like uniform rows like a planted wheat field would look. Our agronomist says that's normal. It's probably going to look like kind of crappy looking for probably till spring, he said, but it is coming up.
What is Squishy's plans for the winter?
Well, Squishy just got a bed. Larry brought him a bed. So, yeah, Larry brought a bed for Squishy. So, Dad's mentioned tonight, because it is kind of cold, that he's going to bring a litter box over, and I'm pretty positive Squishy's going to live in the larger test shack this winter.
I don't know why you don't just take the dog house. We have 2. Take a dog house over, throw some straw in it, and just let him have that all year.
I don't know.
Because if he lives in a test shack, I feel like your dad's going to be like, this isn't good enough, and then he's going to end up in somebody's house.
As long as they ain't our house. I like Squishy. I just don't want him in our house. He's a pretty friendly little cat, though.
Only when he wants food.
Yeah, once he gets food, he doesn't really care anymore. He's perfectly content going to take a nap. Kind of like Caleb. Everybody always asks, how did I manage to land a babe like her? Easy. I drove her places and took her out to eat.
Your family needs to adopt one of Sandy Brock's lambs.
Pretty sure Sandy lives pretty far away, doesn't she? Like
Like,
Canada?
Yeah, but I think it's like somewhere close to the border, maybe not too far. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like there might be some lambs closer to home. I thought I seen Beeves commented, didn't she?
I don't read the names, I just read the comments.
Oh. Well, Beeves, if you're still in the stream, thanks.
Any plans for a rock soar off-road again?
Yeah, there is actually a pretty big rock soar rally in Georgia every year. I would love to go to that next year, but I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, I do plan on riding some more. Like, just not this year. It's cold. Need to find a cab for it this year.
I think you must be like,
She just said hi.
oh, we must be further ahead on that.
Yeah, probably am. I seen someone said I needed to switch to bunker branding. Nah. Firm focus is where it's at. Rock soar hat. I don't have a rock soar hat. Hey, give me one.
Can you say what a strip till bar is yet?
Nope.
Seriously?
I'm positive. Yeah, I've asked multiple times this month. We actually have it at the farm right now. It's back, but we still can't show it. We haven't used it yet. But, sometime. It's been supposed to have been revealed at multiple farm shows this fall, but they've all been canceled. So
It could be revealed on Brian's farming video. It could be magical.
that's probably where it's going to get revealed, especially if they cancel Louisville.
How many hours do you work in a week? Depends on the time of the year.
Yeah, like, I mean, right now, a pretty good amount. I don't know. Usually I start around 8, and by the time I get done with the YouTube stuff, it's 10 or 11 every night. Some nights are longer, some nights are shorter.
The guy that sent his name started with an M. I don't remember, but Richter Farms. Was the cookies good?
Yeah, she's been eating them.
Been fighting Dax and Emmy to eat.
BJ snagged a pack out of the other test shack. He left them there.
Sharing the love.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about, the last live stream, it was around Kayla's birthday. We mentioned that she loves Grandma's chocolate chip cookies, and somebody sent her a box of 60.
How do you like the Kenworth so far?
I'm a big fan. In fact, in today's video, there's a segment where I was talking about how much I like it. Hopefully it'll hold up for us, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it drives like a car, comfortable. I mean, I like it a lot.
Is Squishy a good mouse hunter?
Probably would have been if everyone wouldn't have fed him, but in his defense, he's pretty dang on tiny when we found him. So I've seen some feathers over there. I've never seen anything else. I don't know if he's ever killed a mouse.
Have you listened to Jocko lately?
Not for a while. I can't remember when the last one I listened to. Usually when I listen to Jocko, I'll like a title of a book that he's reviewing will catch my eye. And like here lately, he hasn't really been reading a lot of books. So
What size is your drill?
we have a 30-foot Great Plains, but I planted this year with a 30-foot sunflower air drill.
Is your house on one of the farms?
Yep. We live on the home farm. We actually live in the home house. So this is the house that Dad was born and raised in.
Yeah, born in our living room.
Yeah, our living room. Yeah. Fun fact: Dax sleeps in Dad's old bedroom. That's why they talk alike.
How will the cold affect the moisture and drying of your crops?
It's not really gonna dry down much when it's cold, but it was 60 during the day. It just as soon as the sun went down, especially that wind blowing, it's probably I think it was like 30 when I came in. So during the day, it was probably drying a little bit, but I would say for the most part, the corn's not really going to dry down much more.
Are there going to be any more Gleaner videos?
Oh yeah. Tomorrow we're going to run it. I think we have it for a couple more days. Unfortunately, the weather just didn't cooperate, but it was never intended to be a long-term demo. That is an AGCO marketing unit, so it does have some more stops to make before fall's over. If it wouldn't have been for the weather, I think it would have been going last week probably. But just the weather hasn't really cooperated. It figures when we get all the cool toys to play with. Yeah, it goes from like dry and perfect harvest weather to raining.
How do you like the rock sore so far? Speaking of weather.
Oh, I love it. It's just really cold right now. And I drove it today, and it was kind of cold. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the Roxor. The thing I regret is not having two.
Why would you need two?
I buy two of everything when I like them.
Do you have two wives, or do you just not like
I wasn't
me?
going to say it. But.
Oh, great. Have you ever had cattle?
Not for a long time. Dad got rid of the cattle whenever I was 9 years old, and then when I was growing up, we had 4-H cows, so, or 4-H steers. Oh, I see a super chat. Chad. Yep, Chad, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. We appreciate it. Someone keeps asking if we watch Mike Mitchell. I watch Mike, yes. Mike is I met Mike in Louisville last year, and we hit it off pretty well, so we try to chat every now and again.
Have you always bought GM trucks?
Yeah. Something I've ever had.
Do you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast?
From time to time. I mean, it definitely depends on who his guests are, but I mean, I enjoy that podcast. Oh, yeah. Yep. Anyways, I was kind of thinking that too.
Is the Fendt momentum coming back in the spring?
Have not heard. Nothing is planned yet.
When is the new house coming?
I have not heard. Nothing is planned yet.
Oh. Reading it. Can you plant faster with the sunflower than with the Great Plains?
Yeah. Our Great Plains is a chain drive planter, and the chains are pretty wore out, so you can only go as fast as those chains will let you. If you go too fast, they'll start jumping a lot. I was able to plant 7.5 miles an hour with the sunflower, and ours I can only plant about 5.
Have you ever had to shut down because of the wind?
No. Today was probably pretty close. The power was flickering a little bit, and I was kind of worried that the power would flicker while we were dumping trucks or something. But it never seemed to happen. So.
You have a drone?
I do.
Like what kind?
Oh, I have a DJI Mavic 2 and a DJI Mini. So that's the drones I have.
If you buy a new vehicle for Kayla, get one with a winch so she can park in more ditches.
Yeah.
I'm glad that made the video.
Me too. Definitely helped that video out. I mean, you did that on purpose, right? Just for the YouTube?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Will you ever get a 4-seat razor?
Kayla wants one now. I mean, she would rather have a razor than the Roxor or a Can. I kind of like the Can-Am, but if we found one super cheap, we would probably get one. But we got house goals.
What is the difference between a grain silo and an elevator?
Well, a silo would be what, some people call grain bin silos, but when I think of a silo, I think of something that you're storing silage in, which is cattle feed. So, like corn silage or haylage. Uh, I mean, grain bin, I guess I don't know what the main differences are. A grain bin's made to store like whole kernels of grain, has good aeration. So, I mean, they're made a little different, I guess. And then an elevator, when I think of a grain elevator, it's what people call like where you sell your grain to. I guess I don't exactly know why, but it's what we've always called like Cargill. We call it the elevator. I assume because they used to have bucket elevators and no one else did, which is a grain leg.
Or just what your dad said.
It could just be what Dad said. I mean, the more I do YouTube, the more I find out there's a lot of things I thought were normal that are just what Dad says.
I told you there are things that just Dad says, and you told me you're not a farmer, you don't know, and it took YouTube telling you.
Name
What
one.
is it that he said? It's not like fungicide. It's not fun. It's like another word of his that's a bobism.
I don't know. I mean, I thought pressure washers were a pretty common thing, but I thought cricks were creeks and creeks were cricks.
Will you make any additions to the new bin site?
Eventually, I would love to put up another 100,000 bushel bin, but we're just not quite there yet.
Pierce.
We've actually got two. You missed one. There's a $20 one right there.
Hey Brian, I just wanted to say thanks for all the videos. I certainly enjoy it, as does my 4-year-old. You're also the closest thing to an Alice channel that exists nowadays. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, maybe like
just say thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
There you go.
What was the other $20 super chat? Oh, well, thanks for super chats.
How was your mom?
Mom's doing well. We were just there today, actually. Every Sunday we try to go visit Mom, and yeah, she was doing well. Oh, I'd go. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of and couldn't have brain for it. And Kayla told me to move on. So, anyways.
Do you hunt?
Huh?
Do you hunt?
Yeah, I don't get a deer hunt near as often as I used to, but especially during gun season, we'll be done farming. So I'll try to get out a couple times.
Have you thought about adding a hoodie to your merch store?
Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of Ben there a couple days ago. Forgot to call him, but we had hoodies. We just
trying to get a hold of him and getting to call him are two totally different things.
Yeah. Well, I got my phone out and probably got sidetracked.
Are you gonna shave the beard one day?
No, probably not. I mean, I shave it like 4 or 5 times a year. About this short.
None of us realize how much lawn mowing your dad does.
He might have over-exaggerated a little bit. We were talking about this evening. Like, so many people asked, like, why we don't put cattle on those acres and whatnot. Most of what he mows is like along roads and like farm lanes and stuff. And it might just be like there's a farm lane with a wide patch of grass, stuff like that. But he said in that video he mows like 30, 35 acres. No, I'm guessing 15 to 20 at max. Like he said that he mows 3 acres in our yard. Our whole lot here is 2.5 acres.
I thought it was like 5.
No. Yeah, that field that he mows of ours is like maybe an acre.
I feel like that one back there.
Yeah. But he does mow a lot, yeah. And he enjoys it.
If silage goes into a silo, wouldn't haylage go into a halo?
Touche.
Does BJ regret picking on you when you were little?
I don't know. To be honest, I mean, we're 12 years apart, so I was like 6 when he moved out. When he moved back in, how old was I? He didn't pick on me a whole lot. I mean, I've been bigger than him for probably most of our lives. So.
Will you ever do a podcast? Heard you on Off the Husk and really enjoyed it.
I would love to. I can't think of any title or any. I can't think of any reason to do one yet, but I mean, I would love to. I enjoyed being on Off the Husk, so maybe someday.
Why do you call your fuel trailer a thunder chicken?
That's a Bobism. He started, I'll go get over and get the thunder chicken. I was like, oh, okay, thunder chicken. That's what we're calling that now. All right. Because it has thunder juice.
So why a chicken, though?
I have no idea. He called it the thunder chicken one day. So that's what we've been calling it ever since.
Where did you get the purple dump truck?
Guy we still farm for his widow now. Is one of Dad's best friends. He had that straight truck and he farmed. He got pretty sick and could no longer farm, so he sold it to Dad pretty reasonable. And we've been farming for their family ever since.
When is your silver play button coming?
I don't know. Those are usually pretty far behind, I think. So I would guess we probably won't get it till February or March.
Have you thought about moving some of the bins from the old site to the new one?
Nah, those bins wouldn't really be worth moving. Like when we built the new site, we had one of those bins was here at our house. Like we have 2 small grain bins still here. And when we were pricing that out, we were trying to figure out, was it worth just buying another bin or was it worth moving that one? And basically that size bin was right around the threshold of not really making economic sense to move. And that was a 40,000 bushel bin. Those ones over there are like 15 to 20,000 bushel bins. So and they're 45 years old. They really wouldn't be worth moving. So if we did add on to the new site, like right now we could use about 50,000 more bushels of storage. But if we put our bin up, I would like to put a bigger bin up so we don't waste a footprint. I'd really like to put a 100,000 bushel bin up. We just don't need all of those bushels yet. So until we pick up some more acres or do some juggling around, we probably won't add on for a little while. To the dude that keeps asking me to say who I'm voting for, I'm not going to.
Just ignore it. There's been a bunch of dumb stuff. There has. Why? Have you used articulated tractors?
Yeah. Before we had the 1038, we had a 420 Steiger. So I've had 2 Steigers in my career.
Thanks for taking time to make videos. How tall are you, Brian?
6'3", 6'4", depends on, I guess, what boots I'm wearing.
Does your dad mow those fancy squares in his lawn?
No, he does stripe. Well, actually, he does try sometimes, doesn't he? Yeah, he tries.
You always thought a thunder chicken was a T-bird.
Yeah, that's what I always called Thunderbirds, was thunder chickens.
I'm from Hawaii. I want to get you some coffee. Do you drink leaded or unleaded?
I assume you mean decaf or caffeinated. I drink regular black coffee. So. Leaded? Leaded without the lead, I hope.
How many different types of brands of tractor are on the farm?
Well, let's count here. We got an old Oliver 77 that doesn't run. That's probably the oldest. That'd be like a early 50s. We don't have any John Deere little ones anymore. So we've got the Sassy Massey, which is the 4707. Then we got the baby Sassy Massey. I don't remember what number it is. I think it's 1700. We got a John Deere 8400, a 4020, a 4320 John Deere, and
Just say
3 Challengers.
John Deere Massey Challenger.
Okay, we have 4 brands of tractors.
There we go. Would you like to have a different kind of job?
No. Nope. I'm a very big fan of what I do.
Can you take like one of the GPS things from one of the tractors and put it in your dad's mowing tractor and map out his mowing patterns and stuff?
Yeah, you actually could. I mean, it would cost a lot of money and wouldn't make any sense, but yeah, you 100% could.
Have you seen the drones they use for spraying crops?
Yeah, Dad's wanted one of those for a long time, but they're a little cost ineffective for us. I mean, you'd just be constantly filling up. You know, for like a vineyard or something like that, I could see where it may work.
Have you had another job besides farming?
I interned at a seed company, seed consultants, when I was in college. And other than that, that's pretty much it.
What's the difference between flat bottom bins and
Cone bottoms. Yeah. So a cone bottom bin, it's a shape of it's funneled down so that the grain just funnels all out. A flat bottom bin, we have to get in with a sweep. Usually, you can get a larger flat bottom bin than you can a cone bottom. Cone bottoms are a lot more money too. So usually people will use a cone bottom bin for a wet bin because you're constantly emptying those bins. And yeah, it's pretty much the difference.
Have you considered grain bags?
I'm guessing he's talking about grain bags. Not really. There's not really a lot of grain bags in this area. We don't get cold enough for those to really work, I don't think. Like, I don't have any experience with grain bags, but just looking at it, I would think you would need it to get cold to freeze that corn that's in there. Since you're not drying it, you're just throwing it in a bag. Like I said, I don't have any experience with it, but I've never seen anyone use bags around here.
Tell us a little about the muscle cars.
Okay, so I have a 67 Camaro. It is an RSSS 350. It was a Power Glide. Now it's a 5-speed. The motor's not original to the car. The car's got a crate engine in it, but it is an original RSSS car. Dad and I bought that in 2004, and then he has a 1965 Nova SS 283 Power Glide, which is almost identical to his first car. His first car was a 65, but it was a 4-speed. He got that in probably 2002. So yeah, that's the muscle cars.
When does your duck season open?
I'd have to look, but normally we have 2 seasons. We have a split season. So the first one, it might be in right now, but there's really never any ducks down, and we're usually busy, so I don't even try it usually. Our second one is almost always the second week of December, basically through the end of January.
Someone said Weimaraner. I'm guessing that's the dog.
Yep, we have one. If you want a lot of headache, I highly advise it.
Very hyper.
He's a pain in the ass.
And very smart.
But he's a pain in the butt. We have a lab who Kayla hates, but he is a nice dog. And that Weimaraner is so jealous. Can't pet the lab. So Weimaraner will bite his face off in a playful manner.
Does your wife get a say in the equipment you buy?
I don't know how to answer this in a nice way, but
if you want me to sign the papers
for
a loan.
Everything we're buying is like Dad and I are buying together, so. But fun fact, I bought my combine without telling Kayla about it.
Yeah, real asshole move.
Yeah, I learned a little bit on that one.
I learned a lot.
But,
where did we meet?
High school FFA.
Have you ever had a regular job? We already answered that, didn't we?
Yeah.
When do you plan on upgrading your bins or combines?
Hopefully in a couple years, but we'll see how things are looking after next harvest. I don't think we're going to upgrade any this year, but I mean, I guess I don't know. Probably be after next harvest.
How many original family farmers are still farming in your area?
I don't know. There's actually several first generation farmers here. I can think of 3 in our township.
Do I mind being called Big Mama? No.
Yeah, and the thumbnail from like 2 videos ago, where Kayla looks like she's like trying to like flash us. She picked that, so.
I didn't want to show the whole me acting super stupid and making faces and hearing what I was saying while I was doing it.
Yeah.
But a still shot of it, I didn't care. How are your Midland radios holding up?
Pretty good. We've had a couple that have crapped out over the years. We've had them for 2 years now. The one in Dad's combine, it still works, but sometimes throughout the day you'll have to turn it off and on for some reason. And it looks like some mice ate all the buttons off of it, so I don't know if they messed something up in it. But other than that, for the most part, they still work. You got to get over the delay. Like, there's definitely a delay. And you push the button, just wait a split second, and then talk, and they seem to work okay after that.
How far away are the Case, John Deere, and AGCO dealers?
They're pretty much all 40 miles away, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. I guess our Case dealer's a little closer. How's everybody liking the time change? Like, it feels super late, and it's 8:40.
What kind of side-by-side do you have?
We have a Mahindra Roxor, but now it's street legal, so I guess it's still side-by-side.
Do our kids play any video games?
Not really. I think they play iReady at school or something like that. Yeah. Trying to avoid that as long as possible. I'm sure at some point they will, but right now they still like playing outside.
What do farmers do about health insurance? Listen to the wives complain a lot until they sign up and get it?
I mean, it's just private health insurance, so.
What other brand of tractors or combines would you consider other than any of the ones you have now?
Oh, I would consider any of them. I think pretty much everyone makes a pretty good combine at this point. I think more than anything, you got to look at what kind of resources do you have available to you. What I mean by that is your dealer network and like the techs they have. I mean, at some point, every combine is going to need a tech to come out and look at it, most likely. I mean, it may not be why you own it. I mean, if you're rolling a combine every year, you might have to worry about that. But so I want to look at the service department of the dealership and what kind of parts department they have, because a good parts manager and a good service manager make a dealership.
Like a cook?
For the most part, I mean, we've had some Pinterest fails. Next video, you're gonna hear about some soggy sausage. I believe is what you called it.
Wet sausage soup.
Oh, that should be the name of that video: wet sausage soup.
I try. Pinterest fails.
That's okay. I don't care. I'm glad you tried. God knows I can't cook. I can grill, and that's about it.
But can you grill?
I like it. Whenever I cook, we have grilled food and no sides.
We have Traeger food, and I don't like the wood chip smell or the wood chip. Ew.
Kayla prefers a good propane grill.
Yeah. Does it snow there?
Snowed tonight. Doesn't snow a lot. Around here, if we get 2 inches of snow, they're probably going to cancel school. But sometimes we'll get a 6-inch snow, but that's about it. I mean, if we get a foot at one time, it's a pretty big deal here. Lots of 2 to 3 inches of snow. That'll happen a few times throughout the year.
Are you happy with your strip results?
Yeah, we actually just ran the field that we had a strip till chuck strip in, where we had like a few passes that weren't strip tilled. There's a 5 bushel difference, but it really wasn't a great year to check that just because that field flooded. We had almost pretty much a drought at one point in the year. So I can't really say if the 5 bushel was because of the strip till or not.
Update on your turbo tilled wheat.
Yes, it's coming up. It's not coming up near as uniform as it would if it was planted, but it is coming up. Keith Frazier still going to lance George's elbow with a pencil. I forgot about that, but that was like at the beginning of the month. I told George that I kind of just went up to, yeah, if we get 100K by the end of October, I don't know. I mean, he's had a coat on every time I've seen him this month. Yeah, I forgot about that, Keith. I'll have to ask George if he's still willing to let me poke him with a pencil. I got a feeling he's probably not.
Is there still a shortage of N95 masks for farmers to get a hold of?
I don't know if there's any around here or not. We haven't ran out yet. Oh, there's George. He says, hell no. George is in the chat, and apparently we're not lancing his elbow with a pencil. But we haven't ran out of masks yet. Well, we might be out now. We actually had a subscriber send us 3 boxes of N95s, and we've been using those all the season. So I appreciate that. I'm sorry I can't remember who sent them, but I think we still have 1 box left. So hopefully by the time we get to cleaning bins out and needing masks, we'll be able to find some more.
Bootlegger is in Florida and he has one of AC. We have our heater pointing at us right over there.
Yeah, we got a little electric heater. Our end of the house stays really cold.
What do you think yields worse? Or hurts yields worse? Floods or drought?
Depends on how much of a flood you get. In our case, the flood we had was right after we planted it, and it killed most of those crops. But we were able to come in and replant. I was harvesting replant yesterday, and I mean it was definitely worth replanting. It was 200 bushel corn.
Nephew Trey, congrats. At least I think that's Trey.
Oh yeah, he's got his football jersey on. So it's got to be him. Living in the glory days.
He said thanks.
Yeah, I know.
Made fun.
Oh, he would expect nothing less. Thanks, Nephew Trey. You guys ever killed any big bucks? There was actually a 200-incher killed not far from us.
But have you?
I have not. No, I don't get a hunt enough. If I can shoot a doe, I'm happy. Turn the volume up on yours just to make sure it sounds good. You sound kind of quiet.
Do I ever sound loud?
No, she's a very quiet individual. All right, turn it down a sec.
Okay. Hey, George, do you miss the farming fun?
Oh, I think George misses it a little bit.
He visits.
Yeah, he comes and visits every day. We're over there at the bins by his house.
Does he miss it, or is he just making sure you're doing it right? Might just be letting you know how dumb you are for now.
I still call him and ask him for advice. I mean, the dude ran those grain bins for 20 years. So. Yeah, he might be in bed by now. George is he goes to bed early and wakes up early.
Since doing YouTube, how much have you learned by watching other farmers?
I've learned a lot. It's really broadened like how I see agriculture done across the world or across the country for sure. I just assumed everyone did it like we do here.
Have I ever gotten the rock sore out of first year?
Yeah, I think you did, didn't you? Didn't you drive down the road to the depot one day?
Yeah, I only went to like third year though.
so she got to third. It's the downshifting, I think, is what she struggles with.
Just shifting
in general.
Like, I can make it go fast, but I can't make it like go slow, and I can't make it slow down. So yeah, I can't downshift, and I can't let go at a steady slow.
Well, in first gear, you're kind of cruising at 5, whether you want to or not.
If I want to go slower than that,
You gotta push the clutch up.
well, there we go. You think your brother's going to do it?
No, I don't. You guys plant any Pioneer? We harvested some today. Pioneer 1077.
What's your most expensive input? Seed corn or whatever. You just said at the end of the day.
It's not the most expensive. Fertilizer is probably still the most expensive. But seed corn's pretty high. I mean, a bag of seed corn is anywhere from $200 to $300. One bag of seed corn is going to cover 2.5 acres. So that's a pretty high input. Is DeKalb still around? DeKalb is one of the biggest seed brands there is.
What's that Cole the corn stars? I don't know if he's on there.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cole.
How often do you talk to Cole and Zach?
I don't know.
You have a big group chat with Zach and Randy.
Yeah, I probably text once a week or so. Try not to bug people on the phone anymore than we need to.
Any big plans for Thanksgiving?
Eating some turkey.
Hopefully the Rona doesn't cancel any turkey.
Yeah, we're eating turkey regardless. Just a matter of we cooking or somebody else.
Describe in a few words what it's like to be the wife of a farmer. I can't plan anything ever.
Yeah, it's a little chaotic, a little hectic.
I'm a single mom all fall.
Yeah. But, I mean, we get to do a lot of stuff in the summer that we wouldn't get to do in the winter.
Yeah.
So.
And I can call and say, hey, I ran into a ditch, come get me, and you won't get fired for leaving your job.
Right.
So that's convenient.
Yeah. It probably took a year or two of being married to
going from knowing what a 9-to-5 life was like to a ease life is weird.
What the weird thing is, like for me, it made perfect sense. Like she would ask questions like, why are you even asking this? Are you dumb? But that's because I grew up with Dad being a farmer.
Are you going to be home in 30 minutes? 5 hours later, Brian shows up. Why are you mad?
When are you going to be home? When we get done.
That's my least favorite. What is the best and worst things about working with your family?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know.
You can harass your brother and not actually get in trouble for harassment.
Yeah, I mean, we have fun together. I mean, I've seen some families that don't work well together, and I think we work pretty well together. I enjoy work. Like I've always liked working with Dad. I mean, I've been following him around since I was probably 10, so I learn a lot. So I don't know. There's a lot of good things. There's some of the bad would be. I mean, there are times where I don't know, we drive each other crazy. But and if you were doing that, like I assume that would be the same with any coworker. But when you're related to them, you're going to see them after work too. So.
What is the part of the job you don't like doing? Stinky, smelly stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you work around a lot of rotten grain and stuff, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's a very small percentage of the job.
Being gone all night, waking up early. That's my least favorite. It's when you wake up early and I don't get to sleep.
I don't mind running equipment late. I still like that.
I Why do you harvest the beans at an angle?
Few reasons. It feeds in better. It wears the cutter bar better, and that's the main reasons.
The color on this is so weird. Is it like my night vision day or my night day making it look that odd? It doesn't look like that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if this is what everybody else sees.
I don't know. Hold it up there. On our phone, the screen looks different.
Any news on the telehandler?
Yeah, still don't have it. Don't know when we're going to have it. Think the transmission's out, and it probably costs more than the telehandler. So that's fun. Yeah, we took a telehandler into a mechanic shop in March or February, and we still don't have it back.
What's your favorite thing to drive on the farm?
Combine. Incorn.
How was Halloween?
It's fun. We went trick-or-treating, what was it, Thursday? It rained the entire time. Hardly anyone was out. Hardly anyone was giving out candy.
But we met somebody.
We did. We met a viewer, a subscriber.
And he gave us extra candy.
He did. He gave us a lot of candy. Pretty much filled the, and that's where kids get most of their candy from. Just want many people give them candy.
Wickham Smith said congrats.
Well, thank you.
Would you ever hire a full-time worker?
Maybe someday. I mean, I don't know. It'd probably be a salary position. I don't know. I mean, there'd be times where it'd be full-time. There'd be times where it wouldn't.
When will we get done? How many farm wives have heard that?
Yeah, that's probably, I'd say you want to learn and hate that response.
Yeah, me and Rachel were having that conversation yesterday.
Well, in our defense, I hate getting that question. When are you going to be done? I don't know. When do I get done? I do not look that much older than you.
If you could paint your tractors any color, what would it be?
I don't know. The black fence looked pretty good, I think. But I don't know.
How many bin rats have you killed this season?
I think only 3 with the baseball bat. I think I've only got 3 so far. One year I killed 18. I don't think we have quite as many, or they're just getting smarter. Oh, I want to sneeze. Oh.
How is your security system working?
So far, good. So good. The camera clicks all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's recording just for the hell of it.
It says that it loses power and then it's rebooting power, and then it loses power and it's rebooting power. I don't know why.
But it hasn't went off for no reason yet, so that's good.
Is there any chance of running the Fendt and the Gleaner at the same time?
No, I doubt it. Just because, I mean, it could be the same day, but I doubt it'd be the same time. Just because they have 2 different heads, and we'd have to split apart. We'd have to have someone running beans and someone running corn. We don't have enough people or trucks to do that.
Have you ever harvested for 24 hours straight?
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're running low on battery. Why are we running low on battery? It says we're. Huh. Might not be plugged into the. I'll be right back. Oh. Ow! The charger.
Good job. What are your total acres?
3,500. Yep, I'm charging.
Do you ever make me meals?
Yeah.
Ooh, I discovered DoorDash.
Yep. Kayla DoorDashed tonight, as a matter of fact. There a couple of weeks ago, she told Dad that we were getting Bob Evans delivered, and he was.
Well, he was paying for it, so I think that was it. He was like worried about the cost of delivery.
You deliver? Holy cow!
$50 delivery charge.
It was not $50. Oh man! I think we're gonna answer questions for 2 more minutes.
Would you sell internships to the public?
Nah, just because I'd want to know the person running their stuff. Just because I mean it's expensive, and I don't know. Most farmers I think struggle with control issues, like letting people use their equipment.
How close are we to knock on stiff?
Close, 20 miles. Close enough we know where it is.
We definitely don't live there.
Yeah, it's close enough when you say knock 'em stiff. I don't think you're talking about like beating someone to death.
Although,
How realistic is Farm Simulator? I have no idea. Never played it. I can't imagine a video game would be all that similar or realistic though, unless you were just living in it. Someone asked if we were going to restore the 40/20. That is the plan, but we also have a surprise coming. I think it's going to be here after harvest. Not a 40/20, but it is another older tractor, and it is something that is somewhat close to this farm. So. I know you don't.
have you considered beef farming?
Beef farming?
Yeah, cows.
No.
Do you get paid for cover crops?
Yes. We are in what's called the CSP program, which basically you'll get a credit for putting out cover crop acres. So this is our first year in it. We're actually going to plant some cover crops sometime in the next week, probably.
Am I going to drive a combine?
Yes. You're probably going to drive that Gleaner, that Fendt, and one of ours. Hope so.
Do you incorporate the drone into your farming practice?
Not really. I guess we have. I mean, like for example, when it flooded this year, I flew over the flooded fields to see like where the water was flowing, where it breached our levees at, stuff like that. I've used it to like look for disease, but really, the drone's nice, but it doesn't really take the place of actually walking through a field. You can kind of get a general idea, I guess, but you have to walk.
Are we going to encourage our kids to do FFA for you?
Yes. I mean, I'm not going to force them, but
What kind of cover crop do you plant?
keep in mind it's their first year, but I think we're going to do cereal, rye, or wheat, just because we have extra wheat seed.
Do you soil sample?
Yes.
What methods?
We are doing zone testing.
What is the size comparison between the 740 and the Gleaner?
They're both Class 7 machines, but I don't know. I was looking at the specs on it. I think that Gleaner is like 75 horsepower less than ours, so or not 75, like 50 horsepower less. So we'll see.
Is Trey still helping on the farm?
No. Something about Brad Miller. That's my Capella rep. Or no, Brian Miller. Never mind.
Can you plant any kind of cover crop?
I think so. But Dad tried to ask if chickweed and henbent would count as cover crops, which is the weeds that are growing in the field, and they said no. We tried.
Unless your dad's sleeping in the Gleaner.
I don't think so. It's kind of cold. It'd be pretty chilly tonight.
The Gleaner looks small in comparison.
It is. It is about 15,000 less pounds than our combine. So.
Yeah. Is that the same Gleaner that the one guy can call in the baby?
No. One of that was the one that ran the ag coat or the crop tour plot, the ag crop tour plot. The one guy kept calling it the baby gleaner because the K2 is a pretty small combine.
When you get weeds in soybeans, does the combine shoot them out the back?
Yeah. I mean, they're all chopped up and sliced and diced, but yeah, they go out the back.
How diverse is the farming in our area?
It's mostly crops. There's still some cattle, not much left. There's no dairy cattle. Pretty much only crops. Yeah, we have more than 2 minutes. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for subscribing. We were pretty stoked last night when we hit the big 100K, but
yeah, you made some pretty cool woo noises.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for watching. The next video should be out tomorrow, and yeah, we'll see you then. I don't know if we've ended yet. We'll set it down.